What's happening, people? I go by the name of Dboy, Dayo.
Me, myself, Masour, Bello.
And we've got a special guest for you on the Beat London. Right about now, this guy is an African legend. He's been doing these things for nearly 2 decades. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome KO.
What up, gang?
My brother, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Bless up, all the way from South Africa. My name is KO. Let's get it.
Come on.
Cool. I can't talk about KO without talking about Tear Gas.
Yes, sir.
So let's take it right back. You've done 4 legendary albums with them.
Yeah.
Who was KO from Tear Gas days to who you are now?
KO from back in the day was just a young guy trying to find his voice and trying to find his style and building his confidence and, sharpening my skills. Not only as an artist, but also just as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So back in the group, I could lean on my brothers and stuff. So especially in the early days, I wasn't too confident, just for me to just be a standout guy. And I always just felt like my 2 brothers were a lot stronger.
Yeah.
So I had a chip on my shoulder and things like that. But shortly after the first album, we unfortunately had a fallout with our first manager.
Okay.
And then building from there, trying out, partnering with different managers and stuff like that, and it just couldn't work out. And then we ended up taking the reins, ourselves. I ended up playing group member and producer and manager. You feel me?
Wow.
So, but all of that just helped shape the, businessman in me. And it allowed for me to, even at a later stage when I decided to form a record label, it came with all those tools that I had, picked up from the group experience. So, yeah, from the first album, I really had a chip on my shoulder.
Yeah.
And then on the second album onward, I started really just coming to the fore.
Yeah.
I started rapping better. I started dressing better. You understand me?
Yeah.
And it was just on the up and up from there on.
Is there anything in particular you have to do to build your confidence, or is it a sink or swim kind of situation where you just have to throw yourself in the deep end and say, I need to step it up?
The crazy thing was, I decided to quit alcohol completely.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean?
Something I could never do.
Yeah. I decided to quit alcohol, and I started seeing things for what they really are. I'm like, damn, we actually broke.
Yeah.
We don't have anything to show. How do we shake this whole dark energy going on, and how do we really reel ourselves into to our purpose? And that's where now I started really sharpening my skills and writing better, listening to artists that I felt like I could, soak up some energy from, the Waynes, and this was peak Wayne, peak J, so I started really absorbing all of that from those guys. And I honed my skills, and I started becoming really a standout guy in the group, and later on, when the opportunity came for me to be a solo artist, all that stuff had really just helped me just become a more seasoned, artist and as an individual.
We're now in the generation of Afro beats, but we know you're one of the pioneers when it comes to hip hop in Africa. Who are some of your inspirations coming up?
Back home there were gents like Pro Kid. Pro Kid is an artist that unfortunately has passed on in 2018. It was him. Because he was the first guy to really, we all used to rap in English, back in the day, because, we had an identity crisis.
Yeah.
We thought hip hop was just all English, and because we just literally just copying and pasting what was going on in the Western world. So when that guy took this whole ish and then he just made it sound authentic and South African and sounded like the greatest to ever do it on the mic in our local language.
Yeah. I hit you different.
Come on, bro. You feel me? So when I saw him move crowds all by himself, just him, the DJ and the mic, just going crazy, on jacking for beats and things like that, and just verse for verse and freestyles. I'm like, I want to be him.
Yeah.
I want to be just as good or even better. You know, so that put the battery on my back, and I started just like building myself as an artist. And obviously outside of that, like I said, you know, the Waynes and the Jays and all those kind of guys. You know.
That's dope. That's dope.
For myself, I work with a Nigerian.
Yes, sir.
And I always have to hear him boast and talk about how proud he is to
Here
be
we go.
Nigerian.
Here we go.
D-Boy's always talking about his Nigerian.
Yeah,
days
here
with
we go.
Caribbean. Like, I'm from Zambia.
Yes, sir.
Myself, so
Yes, sir.
you know, I can relate with you to a certain degree. Where, you know, I'm just the pressure of just carrying talent
Yeah.
and showing, letting other people know there's people outside of Nigeria
Yes, sir.
and Ghana that can do things. So
Yes.
how important for you is it to rep South Africa and just even see the dominance of South Africa in the whole of music?
I mean, the main thing about I think music. I think now we're living in a space where who cares where you come from, bro? Like your identity. Cool, yes, you need to rep and everything like that. But like some of the biggest artists in the world right now, like from the US. Drake is not from the US, bro.
A lot of people don't even know.
Ed
that.
Sheeran
Sure.
is not from the US.
Yeah.
You know, so but you are not necessarily getting them like throwing their flags in front of your face. Say, yo, I am from XYZ, you know? Because sometimes, as much as, yes, cool, you are being patriotic and you want to do that, naturally people will know, oh, I was listening to an Ed Sheeran interview. What's that accent from? Oh, he's from, you know what I mean?
UK, yeah.
So it doesn't, not that I'm saying it doesn't matter where you're
It's
from
such a
per
global
se,
sound now,
you know,
yeah.
like music is just like a universal language now, you know, but it is important for kids coming out of Zambia, you know, for them to see, oh shit, so the homie is out there doing some amazing things in the UK, you know, a Nigerian kid, you know, coming up in all the way out there in Lagos or wherever, you know, we have to tell our individual stories. But when it's all said and done, like this platform is for everybody, you know, it doesn't matter where you come from. That's just how I feel, yo.
I ask, as an African artist, has there been pressure? I mean, I know you've got an international crazy hit right now with Sete, and was there pressure for you to do an Afrobeat track? Like,
No, sir.
yeah.
No, sir. Thing about it is this. So how I got to actually even make that record was the good people at Sony back home hit me. They're like, yo, so we have Ruger coming to the country and he wants to have a session with you.
Crazy.
And I didn't have anything ready. Like, I'm like, damn, okay, cool. What do I do? Like, I'm busy putting together an all hip hop album. Like, I'm rapping top to bottom, you know? I don't have anything that will accommodate, you know, homie. Damn, what do I do? And then, boom, I started calling all the producers around. Give me something that says Western Africa, you know what I mean? And then I'm not even gonna lie to you, like nothing hit, you know, from like the batch that they were sending me. I'm like, okay, cool. Where do I go? Let me go on the internet. Boom, boom, boom. So I stayed up till like 3 in the morning,
trying to get
the right one, bro. And then eventually I land on that one. I'm like, okay, cool. I got it. I also, because that's the type of artist that I am. I'm a very organized guy. Because this is a job for me. So when you call me to come to the studio and then you're going to play me something there and then we need to make a record, cool, I can do that. But you're probably going to get the best of it if you allow me to prepare, you know, meditate a little bit and play the track a little bit before I come to the studio, and then I know what I'm gonna do so that I don't waste your time and I don't waste mine. Because you know, you've seen. You guys have been on artists. You get there, get to the artist, and then the drinks start, you know, flowing, and then you know whatever. You know what I mean? It's fuck up. 6 years later, 6 hours later, nothing was done. You know what I mean? You feel me? So I'm like, okay, cool. Let me get in my zone. When by the time I get there, I am just gonna lead the track, and he can just, you know, build from what I got. Get there, boom, play the track for him. He wasn't really vibing with it, bro. You feel me?
Wait, so you're telling me Sete was meant to be done with Ruger?
Yeah.
That's crazy, and he wasn't feeling it.
Nah, he wasn't really feeling it, you know. And
wow. How does that make you feel sometimes, knowing that you've been up for so long, you've been looking, you think, yeah, I've got it, and then someone's like, nah, bro.
Now, I don't really even take it in a negative way because give the type of feedback sometimes when I collaborate with artists, you know. So you dish it out, you need to be able to take it too. And it's not because it was a swipe of me. I mean, we still managed to build, you know, regardless, because he wasn't really maybe vibing with Sete, but he had something else that he passed on to me. He was like, yo, so maybe let's do this, and then I was vibing with that too.
I'm sure he's disappointed. He'll be disappointed if he
I'm sure
shows
he's hit
up.
you on the socials.
He's got 81 million streams there, and of course he's gonna be
Hey
disappointed.
man, he's doing, bro. He's on the up and up.
But he hit you like on a friendly one, like bro.
We haven't
got one there.
We haven't chatted since. I mean, I've been chatting mostly to his team and stuff like that. So, but I mean, I'm sure we're still gonna build and everything moving forward. But like, I mean, so long story short, it was meant to be me and him on the record, and it just didn't pan out that way. But I was so confident in this record that I found. I recorded my part, and then started reaching out to the other gents. Young Stunner, who's an amazing Amapiano artist, came in and he knocked it out the park. Same goes for Blackie, and he was on the up and up since then.
Crazy. And of course, you got the remix now.
Yes, sir.
You hooked up with Oxlade. Shout out to Oxlade, my
guy.
Yeah. What was that?
Dope dude, like? Bro. Dope dude. Even just the energy, man, of the homie. You know, the crazy thing about it is, what I still find fascinating to me, and that also one of the things that also continues to put the battery on my back, even all these years, bro, is when you make a call, and like I just mentioned now with Ruger, like Ruger didn't even think twice. It was like, I want to work with Kale, you know. Being someone who has been in the game for so long, and then you have like these newer guys who are at the top of their game, you know, but when the call comes in, you're like, yo, so it's KO. Like, oh, say less. I'm there. You feel me? Like, to me, that's some incredible stuff, because I've seen some of the same wave of young guys when they at the top of their game, and then, you know, the OGs reach out, they don't get the same type of respect.
Not the same love.
You know what I mean? And then you get like the OGs talking about, man, screw these kids, man. You know what I mean? Let's build amongst each other. And then now there's like that separation, you know, between the two waves. So
you made an interesting point. I wanted to ask you. You played the beat to Ruger. He's not really feeling it, but you've still had the confidence to call Oxlade and be like, try it out. A lot of people, they just been like, you know,
the difference is
when
Oxlade jumped in, it was already a hit.
You remember that? It was different.
It was already a hit. Anyone was going to jump in at that time.
It was different. But I mean, besides that, I mean, I think just naturally, palette-wise, that kind of appeals more to Oxlade than it does with Ruger, because I got to understand later that session. I'm like, oh, maybe I presented the wrong type of track, you know, because after checking out his sound and stuff, he's more like of a dance hall type of guy, you know what I mean? That was his come up, you know. So I have to respect that, you know. He felt it didn't really resonate with his artistry. So, but yeah, naturally for Oxlade, that connected really nicely, and even with Diamond and stuff, Diamond Platinums, who's also on the remix, you know, these both gents, you know, my connection with them, it was just like they were both in the country, and I think they came at a time where this record was just like everywhere, bro. Like, you feel me? So when the call came in, like, yo, so we're trying to do a West and Eastern African thing on the remix, and we're looking for guys from, you know, both ends. And when they got out there and they felt the energy and, you know, the noise that it was making, clearly when, you know, we reached out, you know, they just said, say less, you know, boom, got the verse from Oxlade, got the verse from Diamond, and then we started building.
Talking of vibes, there's no party like an SA party. Even watching Amapiano videos before it became popular. I'm seeing the Savannah, the Hennessy, the dance moves.
Come on now.
So someone like you coming to the UK, it has to be like the coronation for someone like you. Because how have you found the nightlife in or just even generally going out in the UK?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's a bit of a tough one because I'm still coming in here. I'm not an Amapiano guy.
Yeah.
So I'm still a hip hop artist.
Yeah.
I just happen to have a crazy song that is more Afrobeat than that world. You feel me? So coming here, I'm probably leaning more towards the Afrobeat side of things.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it. I'm like, okay, that's crazy. But also, I'm getting to appreciate the fact that this new wave of artists emerging out of South Africa have created something so special.
Crazy.
Probably they didn't think thus far. You know, they were just like creating out of their bedrooms, and then like something this big came out, and pause. And then you feel me? And then boom, this whole thing is just dominating, you know, the charts beyond SA. And coming here and being in the club, I mean, I did 2 shows this past weekend, Manchester and Dublin, and being out there in the club, the only thing with like they playing just Amapiano, like top to bottom, and everyone's just going crazy. Whenever like even the big records that I know from back home, the big records that I like going crazy back home, when they was dropping here and then everyone is going crazy, I'm like, wait, so like where am I? Am I in SA kind of thing? You know what I mean? Because it just feels like even the world is so in tune with like the current stuff that's going on over there. That is just something like I tip my head off to the homies, and
even with that little vibe, you don't feel like having a little shot of Hennessy when you hear it.
I mean, I still get to enjoy. I probably have more fun than someone who's intoxicated.
Yeah.
Because the thing about it with being the sober one in the room, when the sober one is out partying, the ones that are intoxicated, that party's lit.
It's a vibe.
You know what I mean? Because he's seeing what it is.
You're seeing everything,
right? And then if he's the one that leaves first, you know the party's trash.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I hear that's a good take.
Yeah, it's crazy. I like just looking at your journey as an artist. Yeah, do you ever like pinch yourself and like say to yourself, like, look, where I am right now, like, is it still unbelievable? Do you still believe where you're at the moment? I speak to a lot of artists, and they sometimes, you know, they get into the game and they want to get really big. Like, you've done it for nearly 2 decades now. Like, you've been somewhat consistent, but right now you're literally taking over the globe. Like, how does it feel right now? That do you believe it? Do you feel like this is where I'm supposed to be right now?
Bro, I think for me, like the main thing, I think one of the reasons why I've managed to have like so many years and mileage in the game has been because I wasn't sitting there counting the years. I'm like, okay, so here I've just added another year to my run. No, but it was more so like I'm a student, like to the day I die.
Yeah,
I want to learn something new, so I have to surround myself with like, you know, the new guys, and you know, whether it's a female artist or whatever, tap into anything and soak up all the energy every day, because you learn new tricks. Like even with the remix, I was completely against it. I've never remixed a song in my life.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And the label was like, yo, that's the move. I'm like, damn, okay, cool if you say so. And then they started making an example with like the CK record that went crazy with the multiple remixes, and then they also made an example with like
really
Essence.
The lemon on that one,
You know what I mean? Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
And then they started making an example with Essence by Wiz and Thames, and they're like, yeah, I mean the original is always gonna be, you know what I mean, at the top, but this is not about trying to outdo the original. It's the cosign. You feel me? Wiz didn't need Bieber in the States, but it was the cosign. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Being seen next to that name say something different. You
Yeah.
feel me?
Yeah.
So even in this case, being with like the guy that's buzzing in, you know, in Nigeria, the new guy, Oxlade, and then of course the king of the East, you know, Diamond. You know, so it makes all the sense, and you get now ingratiated into a whole new market in different regions and things like that. So I think that willingness to want to learn something new every day is the reason why I'm still here, and I get excited by coming to London and they roll out the red carpet for me. You know, even all these years, and that's why I felt like I needed to start moving outside of the country, because I'm not gonna lie to you, like you were saying,
yeah,
the vibe in SA will
mad.
blindside you, bro. You think you done. You think you done. You know what I mean?
It's mad.
So when you step out and then you come here, you're like, wait, so there's a whole other audience over here? You know, for me, even with the years that I've had in the game, the excitement that I just get knowing that I might build a new fan over here, new set of streams over here, you know what I mean, and get a whole new network. That's what excites me to this day. So it's just the willingness to learn all the time.
Appreciate it.
No, that's dope. That's dope. You strike me as a sharp guy. Who is KO away from the music? Are you a business savvy guy? Are you someone that's gonna be doing film soon?
Are you a gamer?
Yeah. Hey man. Funny enough, no disrespect to all the gamers out there. That is just one thing I couldn't do. And the reason why I couldn't get into it was, you know, when I was with the homies at the crib, when I would go out and go grind and, you know, try to get it, everyone is just sitting in front of that screen, bro. Just like going crazy.
I can't stand that myself.
You feel me?
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, and then like, nah, go get it, big dog, and then you got us, you know. So
time consuming, isn't it?
Yeah, and then like when I look back now, I'm like where they are and where I am. I blame the game. I don't want to blame the game, but I blame the game. So yeah, I mean, but outside of that, man, like I'm just a normal guy. I'm a very introverted individual. Keep to myself. You know, pretty private. You know, I try to protect my private life as much as possible because I'm one person who doesn't live in my head. I don't live in, oh, I'm KO.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, I think I'd probably say 70% of the time, I'm the real me. My name is Dboy. That's the person that I am. When these cameras switch on and these lights come on, I'll put on a show for you. You know what I mean? Straight. When I had to get on that stage, I'll put on, you know what I mean? I'll get into the persona and everything like that. But I don't want that person to overtake the real me because it's a lot of times where you see guys just get lost in the sauce because, you know, the lines get blurred.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Great. I want to ask you about your brother, your friend. We lost him this year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Shout out to AKA RIP. True legend in the game.
Come on,
now. Speak to us about your relationship and what was that like when you heard?
That is, if I'm speaking from a place of privilege, bro, and being selfish, I don't know if, like, I hate the fact that he's gone because I don't have anyone else to pull from back home. Like, that is one man that kept me on my toes, bro. Like, if he does something great, I'm like, I want to outdo that. Yeah. When I do something great, he's doubling back. I'm like, I want to outdo him. You know what I mean? Iron sharpen irons. You feel me? So I've lost that, bro. I've lost that energy and just like healthy competitive spirit with someone who is just as great as I am. I believe. You know what I mean? And we had just decided, all right, cool, F it. 2023, we're doing a joint album with this man, right? And we just recorded the first record, you know, just to set that whole thing off. We just finished, just gave me an amazing verse 3 days before his passing. We were in the studio, and then boom, the unfortunate happened, you know. But outside of that, bro, that man is an icon. He's gonna live forever because he made so much, they made so much impact, not only locally back home, but, you know what I mean, like globally and stuff like that, and all the people that he touched with his music. Genuine dude, you know, selfless, you know what I'm saying? Misunderstood to some degree, but now he was him for real.
It's very interesting you said that. Obviously, death is always going to be guaranteed. For yourself, what do you want KO's legacy to be?
My legacy, bro, like, and that's why, like, when you go back to my story, is I started off as a group member, and that spirit, being able to share whatever that was at the table with my brothers, ended up being the same type of tradition that I even, you know, kept with me even outside of the group, I didn't. When I decided to go solo, when we decided to go solo as the group members of Tear Gas, I went into it and still decided, nah, I'm not just gonna go out and be an artist and enjoy the benefits all by myself. I'm gonna have artists around me who will, because of my momentum, they also gonna benefit off that. You feel me?
Mentor, leader.
Exactly. You know, so that, and then I'm still doing it even to this day. We actually have a record coming out this Friday with my new guys, my artists at World. Shout outs to Roy and Loki.
Where can they find them? On the socials, on the
yeah. So you can follow Loki, Loki tunes on all the social platforms. That's his handle. And then you can also follow Roy. That's the digit 1, and then Roy ROIII.
We put it on.
Yeah. So yeah. 1 ROIII. Yeah. So we have like some music coming out this Friday. So back to the question is, I want to be remembered as someone who was blessed enough to bless others, bro.
Amazing.
You feel me? That's just basically what my story is supposed to be.
My brother, I just want to thank you so much for not only inspiring Africans, because that's usually the narrative, Africans inspire Africans.
Yes, sir.
I feel like right now you're on a journey inspiring people across the globe.
Yes, sir.
We love what you're doing. We love how you're inspiring us over here in the UK. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Bless my G. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on the platform, man.
Thank you, brother.
On my side, bro, first things first, there's one woman in South Africa I'm looking for. I know you can help me locate her.
I'm not a pimp. I'm not a pimp.
No, not even like that. You might even have your phone on. I'm looking for a lady called Uncle Waffles. Is there any
go on Tinder, big dog.
Yeah.
The second thing, actually, there's 3 questions. The second thing is, can you take me to a South African rave, please?
I don't think you can handle it, bro.
Listen, if I die there, I die there. Let me just go and experience it. That is on my bucket list. I have to experience I have to drink a savannah and
my God.
Yeah, and just have some meat and just
have
enjoy
some of the local cuisines and stuff like that. You come ready because you know what I mean. I don't know how if your tummy can handle all that.
When would you say is the best time for that?
Summer.
Summer.
If you touch down around like the second half of December.
Yeah.
Come on. It just feels like one long freaking New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you're over there, you know? So, you can do Joburg, do Cape Town, do Durban. Those 3 stops.
I've been hearing about Joburg a lot more. Joburg, everyone's like, if you really want to have fun, it's Joburg.
Yeah. But Cape Town too, like around Christmas time.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna bring my suitcase, and bam, I'm coming to link you straight away.
I got you.
The last one is, when can we get in the studio? Because I rap a little bit.
Oh no.
So when can we like? He's a hater, but I got a little something there. So when can we?
You know, I'm gonna leave you with him right now. This is always a disaster.
When can we do a little something?
I'm still in town, bro.
Yeah.
Hit me. Link. I'm ready for that.
Make sure you block his number, Thank you, my brother. Appreciate
you, brothers.
Yeah, thank you, man.
I'm Dboy Dayo.
Myself, Masour, Bello.
And it's the Beat London.
You know the vibes.